All right. Hello and welcome to this productivity and time management bonus live stream. Diego, how's it
Hey
going?
Phil,
Welcome. Welcome.
wonderful, all good. Yeah, happy to be here with you and with the new students that are joining the course.
Yeah, welcome everyone who is a new student. If you are here watching live, post your where you're listening in from, where you're watching in from, and tell us why you joined this class. If there's a specific job you're doing, a business you're starting, something in your life about why you thought a productivity and time management class would be beneficial to you. This is something that I think everyone could benefit from. But let us know. I see a few people live. Anup, welcome. Sol Barrera, welcome, welcome. This is going to be a very intimate group of people. I know these times don't work for everyone. The replay is also going to be available for people who joined during these first 24 hours. So if you're watching the replay here, welcome, and we hope you enjoy. And so to get started, we're going to do a little bit of background and share about us. We've got some prizes, so make sure you continue watching. We got a couple prizes throughout the live stream that we're going to be giving out to everybody, so keep watching. And first, and feel free to post any questions that you have while we are doing our sort of training, and we'll get to those later on. And welcome, Mona Davis. I see you here from Northwest Missouri. But in the meantime, Diego, can you share a little bit more background info about who you are, what you do? I know some of our students probably know a lot about us, but for those of us that don't know anything, what's your story?
So my story is a long story, but let me let me do it good for you guys. So I teach on Udemy and I teach on online for 7 years, mainly digital marketing and business. And I'm passionate about that, but I have a passion field that I never, I mean, in the past, man, that was something that I was thinking about because I was always passionate about personal development and productivity. So uh, since I was like 15 years old or so, I always read the only books I read every time, no exception, man. It's difficult to have any other subject on my reading list are productivity and personal development. I'm passionate about it, and and having learned all these strategies during the years that helped me to grow my company and reach like thousands of students all over the world now with the courses that we create, right? So just doing a really short version of my story, that's the reason why I decide, and I call Phil and I say, Phil, let's do this productivity course together. I think Phil is the productivity master. I inspired by Phil in a lot of things, in the way he works, on how much content he produces, and especially now we are parents, right, Phil? We have kids,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to try to handle all these tasks from the business side, the personal side, with the family, and that's a next challenge that I had recently on my life too. And we are sharing strategies to deal with that and other things in the course. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. That's great. And I think I come from it from a different perspective. I was a little bit into self development, that kind of thing, but I don't know. I guess whatever it is, naturally, I was fortunate to have a drive to like get stuff done. And I have been very productive creating content, and I sort of built my own systems and ways to do that over the past 10 years for my online business, which is all educational content from courses to articles and free videos and all live trainings and all kinds of things like that. Um, and it wasn't until I became a parent where I had to be more conscious of, okay, I need to like actually have systems. I actually have to use the right tools to be more productive. Because before that, I look back and I'm like, wow, I had all the time in the world to do anything. And I spent most of that time working on my business, and that's why I believe I've
Mm-hmm.
been successful, because I dedicated so much time when I had it to my business. But now with kids, it's anybody that's a parent knows how crazy it is to try to balance family life with work life, and especially if you're an entrepreneur or someone that works in the online space, wearing so many hats, it's a lot of work. So I guess I've learned a lot, and I've been successful at it for the past 5 years or so, and the past 3 as a parent. And it's been a great opportunity to kind of package all of what I've learned into this class of ours. So the first thing we're going to do is just a quick overview of the class and some important things so that people know as they're getting into the class how it's structured. So I'm going to share my screen. So let's do that.
Excellent.
And a couple of the initial things that you probably want to make sure you do is download the course workbook. So that's here in lesson 3. And there's a link down there. This is a great little guide that includes a lot of the key tips from all of the lessons, and students seem to really like that. And I mean, we try hard to make these classes awesome, and I mean, just this sort of workbook alone is worth the enrollment in the class. So hopefully people enjoy that. The other thing is, just as always, continue to provide feedback. Whenever we launch a course, we know that it might not be perfect for anybody or everybody. Hopefully it is perfect for some people. And if we've made mistakes, if there's things that you thought were going to be in this class that aren't, just let us know. And Diego, do you want to kind of go over like how the sections work and the structure of the class?
Sure. So we start the first step, guys, is to download the workbook, right? Print it out or put it on your iPad, on your phone, and just scan it, take a look on it, and see if there are specific points that you want to learn more. So with that, you can jump to specific sections if you want and start learning about that specific section, the productivity area. But the course is structured also to follow in order. So if you want, and I prefer if you do that, just take the course in order. We start with the biggest killers of productivity. Why? Because if we learn the best strategies and we start applying, we put your energy, your time to learn this and try to make it work and to be more productive. But we are not taking care of the productivity killers that we all have. That's a problem, because we are working hard here to be more productive, to have better results, and to be successful. But we are not we are not taking care of the productivity killers. So we start with that on section 2. It's a short section. You can watch it. You can identify if you have any of these productivity killers. And after that, we know what is taking out your productivity. We jump into goals. So we will start defining the goals of your business, of your personal brand, of you personally, or in any area of your life that you want. And when we have the goals, we know where we are going. That's important, guys, because it's not if we are just applying the strategies, the productivity strategies, without a goal, we don't know where we are going. So that's why goals are important. We work on that on section 3. After that, we jump straight on the extreme productivity strategies. And I think you will love this model. This is one of my favorite models here on the course. We have email productivity. We have ways to organize super productive meetings.
Yeah, these are like very like quick. If all you want to take in the course is take this section, because we dive into a little bit more depth in some of these specifics later on. But this one is sort of like, we wanted to make this course productive for people. And so we wanted to start out with just like several of like the quick things that you can implement right now and be more productive.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So after, no, that's
cutting it.
That's fine. And we work in how to be productive in the digital area. So if we have cell phones, people are saying, hey, cell phones and computers, they are distracting us. They are a productivity killer, but they could be, but they could help you to be more productive. So we have a section where we talk in details about how to be more productive in the digital area, right? With your cell phone, using the best tools, and also with your smartphone, right, which is the cell phone. We work also. We will talk, Phil, about the morning routine, right? How to structure your morning routine so you start your day with the right energy, with the right goals, all organized to be more productive. This is I'm not sure about you, Phil, but I think the beginning of the day is one of the most important things to have organized, to have the priorities ready there, the goals for your day, so you know exactly what to work on and advance on your projects, on your life, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think the thing we tried to keep in mind for this class, because we each share our morning routine, is that you don't have to have that super, like, I wake up at 4:15 every morning, go for a run, then do some deep breathing and drink a gallon of water. It doesn't have to be that, like, specific,
Right.
typical kind of entrepreneurial morning routine. We are realistic, and I'm a parent, and I'm realistic with what people can do in the morning. And so I share my morning routine, and really, like you said, Diego, it's more about having a structure and being organized than and it could be anything. It could be waking up later, it could be waking up earlier, it could be journaling, it could be meditating, or it could not be either any of those things, and it could just be making sure you wake up and you have a specific time that you have to get to work if you are working from home, or things like that. And so we tried to make this class. I think one of the best things about coming together for this class is we have different perspectives and different stories and strategies, and hopefully combining our knowledge helps people to pick and choose what's right for them.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
anything else, any other key sections or things that people should be aware of?
One thing that is important, I think, to mention, Phil, is that this course, guys, is a practical course. I mean, what happened with me in the past, and sometimes it still happens, is I watch a course and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the ideas, of the possibilities that I can get, the things that I can achieve by implementing these strategies, right? But I mean, we won't have real results unless we apply these strategies. So I think Phil and I, we will be happy instructors if you take one of these strategies, at least one of them, and really apply it, commit to that. So put it into your day. It can be any of these. We have like a lot of great strategies. You can take a look, see what is the strategy that you need more right now to be more productive and have better results. And remember to implement, to put this into action. Right, Phil?
Yep. I think that's totally great. I think, yeah, the cost of admission to this class will be worth it if you actually take even just one of the things and really implement it. Yeah, totally. So for people who have stuck with us so far, we are going to give out our first prize, and that's going to be access to one of our courses. And some of you might already be in this course, and so that's too bad for you. But for people who aren't in our course right now, stick around because we'll give another prize later on. But we're going to be giving free access to Diego and my digital marketing masterclass. And so that I'm going to post in the chat right now. And if you click on this and go through the link, you get free access for the next, it should be live for the next 3 days, but
3 days.
Go ahead and do it right now. And
that class, guys, is one of the best. I mean, it is in the top 2 best classes of digital marketing on the whole Udemy. So all over the world, we have students, hundreds of students taking this class every day. So this is one of the masterclass we have, and we are sharing with you as a thank you for being here with us today.
And we just did a complete update to that class too, like a month ago. So everything, we launched this course 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, and we just did a complete update. So all of the tools and things should be live. So Let us know in the comments if you were already in that course, or let us know that you are getting that link. And at the same time, if you have questions, right now would be a great time to post any questions about productivity, about business, entrepreneurship, anything that you know that Diego and I do that you're curious about. Post that in the comments on YouTube if you're watching live. And while we do that, we'll get to your questions throughout, but we're going to go over a little bit more detail, some of our favorite strategies. Some of these do come in the course, and we explain a little bit more in detail in the course. But since you are here live with us, we want to give you our favorite ones. So hopefully you can take something practical away from this live training. So Diego, what's one of your favorite productivity tips, tricks, or techniques that people can implement?
So when we were preparing this live, guys, we said, okay, let's share the favorite ones that we have. And it's difficult to choose because I think all of them are available. And sometimes during my live field, I have one of the strategy that for that moment that I was living was the best strategy for me. And after a few months, another one. So the one that I really like, and I think, guys, if you apply this every day, your life could change for the better. You will have better results for sure. And this is a simple thing. It's nothing revolutionary. I call it plan your day the night before. So what is that? Every night before I go to sleep, I have this notebook by my bed, and I write down the top 5 goal-oriented activities that I will do tomorrow when I wake up. Right? Sometimes I do it before I go to sleep. Sometimes I do it when I finish my work for today. It can be like 5, 6 p.m. or something. And I just write down a simple list in order of priority of the top 5 goal-oriented activities that I will perform tomorrow. So why that's important? It's important because tomorrow I will just sit here on my office and I will say, okay, what do I need to do today? I open my notebook and I know exactly, in order of priority, the top 5 goal-oriented activities. I have my goal for the week, and we will talk about goals later. I have the goals for the week. I know that I need to achieve A, B, and C, and I know that to get there, I need to perform these specific tasks. So how do I do it? I write it down. I write down the night before. Next day, tomorrow, when I wake up, I start working on strategy number 1 and only number 1. I don't worry about the other ones. Otherwise, I get anxious. Okay, I have too many things to do and all that. So I just work in number 1. When I finish number 1, I cross it and I go to number 2. When I finish number 2, number 3, and go forward with the list. And this looks simple, guys. And you can be thinking now, Diego, this is too simple, man. This is like, it's basic. And I agree, it's basic, but it's super powerful. And I invite you to test this for at least 7 days. Just start today. Today, before you go to sleep, grab a notebook, piece of paper, just write down. If you don't have like 5 top goal-oriented activities, you can write 2, 3, or 1 activity that you will perform next day. This will help you to be more productive, because in the morning, you will start the day already being more productive. I personally feel sometimes it's like 10 a.m. in the morning and I already completed my 5 goal-oriented activities and I already feel that I was productive today. So if I stop working now, that is 10:30 a.m., I'm already happy. I achieved what I planned for today,
I love that idea. I was going to say, I love that idea because I think a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, when we're not thinking about the day ahead, we end up just getting to the computer the next day and checking emails, going on social media, and doing all the things that we think is productive. But really, when we are ultimately looking at our goals and the end goal of what we're trying to achieve, whether that's a product we're trying to finish or whatever your long-term goals are, it's much better, at least I found, it's much better to start your day with that that most important task that's going to help you get to that goal. And I've done the same. I don't do the daily journal now. I'm not currently doing it. I should, because I know it would help me. But definitely, I think that's something that it's an easy way to get started with. It's easy because it's simple, but I know it's also hard because people just get lazy at the end of the day and don't want to do anything. And welcome, Christina Ritchie, joining in. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone else who's watching live, if you're just tuning in, we are going over some of our top strategies for productivity right now. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the chat. And we already gave one of our prizes away, the Digital Marketing Masterclass, for free. So you can find a link to that up above in the chat. Anything else with that? Your plan your day the night before strategy or tip?
That's mainly the strategy, Phil. And as you said, that's exactly what happened with me before I was implementing this. I know the goals that I have for the week, but I sit down here on my office and I turn the computer on. I have emails, I check the emails, social media, approving people on the Facebook group, and when I stopped, I saw that I was spending like an hour, 45 minutes just doing things that are not priority. So this is a great strategy for sure.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that helped me is using a block schedule. And so what a block schedule to me is for me, I do it by day, but choosing a specific part of my business or thing that I do for each day of the week, instead of just it being a free-for-all and working on everything when it comes up, I dedicate each day of the week to a specific type of task. So for example, if I'm recording courses, if I have a course that I'm doing, I'll spend Mondays and Tuesdays just focused on recording those courses. And then I'll dedicate Wednesday to perhaps email, social media content. And then Thursdays, I'll do editing. And then Friday, if I'm doing good for myself, I'll dedicate to doing more creative projects, going out, doing photography, those things that I'm actually teaching people how to do. And this has just really helped me because I do run so many different types of businesses, or from my online courses about photography and video production to, for a while, I was doing the online course masters training for online teachers. And when I'm not using a block schedule, I think it kind of all goes back to sort of a similar thing where we're just randomly doing whatever we think we need to do without being conscious of it and really conscious of what is the most important thing to do. So block schedule is something that I implement and I think is very helpful, especially if you're in a place where you're like always struggling to get to a task that you want to do, but your day gets filled up with emails or social media or calls or whatever. And maybe you're a writer and you just want to write, but you feel like you never have time to do that. If you're using a block schedule and you say, okay, Thursdays are for writing, then that's what it's for. You don't add anything to your list. You realize it's okay if I don't tune into social media that day, or I don't work on a course that I'm working on, or whatever it is. That day is for writing, and that's block schedule is one of my favorites. So,
and that's great also, Phil, because I mean, if you know that tomorrow is writing day, I mean, you like writing. That, let's say you sleep already thinking that tomorrow is writing day, and you are more inspired. It will be easier for you to get into that specific task. And especially for us that we create courses, we teach online, and for any other professionals, right? Maybe for you that are watching here are live with us. I mean, if we are talking about creating an online course, we are talking about a big project, right? We have filming, we have editing, planning the content and all that, and you can be overwhelmed with all that thing. So one mistake that I made in the past, Phil, creating courses, is I was recording one lesson. Right now, when I finish the lesson, I immediately start editing the lesson. I was excited. Okay, I record that lesson. Let's edit now. Let's export it. So that's not very productive because we are switching between tasks that are totally different. And so the strategy of blocking the day for a specific task, I think, is fantastic for sure.
Yeah, yeah, totally. All right. What's one of your other next strategies that you want to share?
So the next one that I want to share is about goals, guys. And it's not just setting goals, it's the way that we will handle the goals. And we talk about this in the course in details. Uh, I mean, I don't want to spend time here talking about why goals are important. Everybody knows, but I just want to say that it's good to have. I recommend you to have goals for the day. Remember, we write down the top activities to get to a specific goal, goals for the week, and goals for the year, right? So by the end of the year, I want to get this, this, and this. Of course, it's good to have my goals for 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future. I always have difficulties thinking about that, but I tried hard. But honestly, for me personally, it's complicated to look that far away in the future. But it's important. But to make it simple, it's good to have daily goals, weekly goals, and yearly goals. Okay. And it's not just to have the goals, because when we write the goals down in a piece of paper, maybe in a notebook, we close the notebook and we forget about it, right? Probably that happened with you. It happened with me in the past several times. It's New Year's resolution. I write like 2 pages. Oh, physically, emotionally, economically, I want to get to these, and these places. These are my goals. But I never look to the goals after that. So I write down in January, and it's like April, May, and I just look back and I forgot about my goals. So what I do, and I sometimes fail at this, guys. It's not something that I do every day right now because I have kids and it's complicated. You guys probably know if you have kids, but I before kids I did it all the time, and I'm working now on implementing this to do it all the time. So this is the strategy. Every day in my morning routine that we also talk about that in the course, I write down all my goals for the year and my goals for the week. So I wake up in the morning, I have my morning routine, and one of the things that I do every morning, and this is fast, it takes me like 2 minutes because I don't need to think about it, is just to remember the goals that I have. So I write down 10 goals that I have, maybe a few for the year, a few for the day, and a few for the week. And why this is important? It's important simply because most people, not regular people, most people are just writing the goals once a year and they forget about it. You instead will be writing the goals every morning. Every morning you wake up, maybe you are not working toward that goal today, right? Maybe you want to buy a house in the beach, for example, and you are not working on that today, but just writing down that goal every morning, that will help you to remember the goal and will help you to achieve the goal easier, because you will be the goal will be on your mind and you will be attentive. You will be looking for opportunities, and sometimes unconsciously opportunities show up on your life and you can take it. You can identify that as an opportunity to get to your goal, because your list of goals is always right here. You write it every single morning. So that's something that I'm not doing daily right now, Phil, but I'm getting back to it, but it's very helpful.
Yeah, I think, and just even the idea of doing like we called it a yearly retreat, basically a business brainstorm that I used to do. It was for my own business, but my wife would help me. And at the start of the year, we would just get a big picture of where is my business at? What are my main goals? And it's amazing that from year to year, it would actually change quite a bit in terms of like what my focus is. And that's because I'm an entrepreneur. I was starting a business, and every year I kind of figure it out a little bit better. Like, okay, what really should I be doing? And then at the end of the year, one of my favorite things was to write a blog post, which was great because I would post it live on my website, and it helps me keep myself accountable. It helps other people see what my goals are and if I fulfilled them or not. And it kind of, I would always end up doing, I think, more than what I set out to do. And that's partly, I think it's because I typically have low expectations and I surpass them. I think there's some people that would say it's better to have like loftier goals. And then if you set loftier goals, you're going to, get closer to those lofty goals. Personally, I find it better for myself to set more realistic expectations and surpass them. And because I like checking those things off my goal sheet, I like making sure that I get those little wins along the way. But yeah, definitely setting goals is so important. And we talk a lot more about that in the course. Shannon, welcome. You chatted about feeling stuck and anxious when your schedule gets too tight. I would love to know more about what types of things you do, what is filling up your schedule, what's your job, what's your work, or if it's something outside of your work. This live training is really supposed to be a dialogue between us and you. So if you have follow-up, I'd love to help a little bit more.
Yes.
And same with anyone else that's watching right now. I think for me, just something I added to my list that I think is important is the ability to say no. And this is hard when you're getting started out, depending on the industry. I know right out of school, I went to film school, and it was very hard to say no to projects because I felt like every project, whether it was doing editing for a friend's short film or taking on a side commercial project or doing wedding videography and trying to grow that way, I felt like I was trying to do everything to make money and to be successful. But I also feel like at the time I wasn't dedicated to one specific goal, and doing all of those things meant that I never really was successful in any of them because I was so sporadic in everything that I was doing. So I think at that time, I wish I could have said no to certain projects so that I could focus on and maybe do a little bit more understanding for myself what I really wanted to do. But I think also as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people, I think, in our classes watching this video who want to do sort of the content creation business model, whether it's online courses, maybe you want to be a YouTuber, make a full income with YouTube or social media. And it's hard to do everything. It's impossible to do everything yourself, I think, the right way. And so when you're starting out, I think it's important to focus on what you enjoy. So if you like making YouTube videos, great, work on YouTube videos. If you like doing TikTok Reels, great, do TikTok Reels. But I've learned that it's okay to say no to trying to do everything. And I've done that with my own business. TikTok Reels, Instagram Reels, that's all the rage right now in terms of what social media is. But I told myself, hey, it's okay to say no and to not try to play that game with my business. Am I missing out on something? Maybe, but that's okay. I'm at a place in my business where I know I don't need to do that. But I think when you're starting out, you feel like you need to do everything. You need to have the website. You need to have a YouTube channel. You need to have every single social media platform. And that's just unsustainable. And I've been burnt out so many times along this journey and had to take time to stop and recalibrate. But I think wherever you are, whatever you're doing, learning to say no is such a powerful tool that will help you along your journey, and it will help you be more productive because then you can focus on the things that are more important and also bring you more joy, I think.
Right. Yeah. And since you talk about social media, Phil, lot of the students, especially on the digital marketing masterclass, they are starting their business. They are starting to invest in digital marketing, and they always ask that question: should I go to all the social medias and start posting? And what's the best way to do it? So you are talking about saying no. It's recommended actually to choose one social media, the one that you think your audience love the most. So your audience is in all the social medias for sure. They are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So, but think about where they actually consume more content, where they spend more time, and invest that. Let's say Instagram. So invest your time there, post daily, and just say no for now to all the other ones. And when you start seeing that it's getting easy to create good content in a regular basis and your audience is growing, you can start implementing other networks, right?
Yeah. And just another thing, Shannon, too, you're talking about needing tips for balancing flexibility and structure in your schedule. I think that's totally, you hit the nail on the head. You need some flexibility and you need some structure. Some people might want to plan, every 24 hours of every day, but I don't like that. And sort of kind of going back to the block schedule for myself, what we've done as a family is we've decided that Fridays are family Fridays. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to take Fridays off and just have that be a specific family day. Weekends are great. Saturdays and Sundays are great, but they often get filled up with other things. I mean, during COVID times, it's been completely different, but typically weekends get filled up with just activities that aren't just having that flexible time to focus on our family. And so for me, that's really been helpful. It's also something that I can look forward to. And I keep saying this word, but we're consciously thinking about, okay, what are we going to do this Friday with the family? Whether it could be as simple as going to a park, or it could be something bigger like going to the zoo with the family, going to the beach. But it gives us something to look forward to every week, but it's flexible. It provides that flexibility of like being able to do whatever we want that day, but it's still, I think that helps throughout the rest of the week, and building in that free time to be flexible is really good. And I'm not the best at this, but I would love to say that ideally you can schedule your time where you're working 3 hours and then make sure, if you're an entrepreneur working for yourself, schedule an hour to really take a lunch, take a break, go for a walk, go to a cafe, get a coffee, whatever is a little win for you every day. If you can build that into your schedule, that's great. As a parent, watching kids at home, helping just at home every day, I don't have that ability to structure my day anymore like that. I would love to be able to just like hop off and just be like, okay, I'm done with work now. I'm going to spend an hour going to get a coffee, but I can't do that anymore. But if you are not a parent, or if you can do that, definitely like build those little wins through the day. I think that's important. And taking that time off, it's going to make you more productive. We talk about this in the course. It's like, you're going to burn yourself out if you're trying to just get everything done nonstop. You got to build in that free time.
Right. And in the course also, talking about that, Phil, we talk about relax when it's time to relax, right? Which is exactly what you are saying. So when you finish your project, you are out of the office with the family, when it's family time. In your case, Fridays, right? Friday is family day. So if you take off Friday and you are with the kids in the zoo, but you are thinking about your course, about the live stream, about this, about that, I mean, you won't be enjoying that moment because you are there with the family, but you want to, your mind and you are actually thinking about business. So what we are saying here, guys, is that when it's time to relax, when you are on vacation, when you are going for that coffee that Phil said, forget about it. Just think about that moment. Leave that moment with your coworkers, that are with you on the coffee, with your family. And when you come back to the project, to the office, you will be more productive because you already have that time to relax.
Yeah, totally. All right. I see this on your list of top strategies. Create any habit with don't break the chain strategy. Can you share what that is?
For sure. Let me share my screen. Let me know if the screen is coming good.
I will pop it open in just a second. Yep, there you go. We see your screen, I think.
So this is a document that is also available in the course, guys. This is from the writer's store. And this is something simple. You can do this by hand if you want. It will take you some time, or you can print out on the course. It's there. And it's called Don't Break the Chain. So when let's say you want to create a new habit, any habit, stop drinking coffee, or start running, or start reading 30 minutes a day, or in my case, that we are content creators, record every day, or record a video every day, or any goals that you have, or meditate every day. This is something that is very powerful. Again, this is super simple. It's not rocket science, but it's powerful to create any habit that you want. You see numbers from 1 to 365. So these are the days of the year, right? So the goal here is to don't break the chain. So when you start, let's say I start today meditating, and this is something I really want to start doing in my life. It's something that I want to do every single day. It's important for me for the goals that I have. I do it on day number one, and when I complete it, I put an X here on this box. Number two, the next day, X here. So you will see that this is filling out. And when you are on day 80, for example, and you didn't break the chain, so you completed every day, you will be motivated to start to keep this going, because this is good. You need to try to feel what I'm trying to describe with words here, but it's good and works very well. And this works for any habit that you want to create. And remember that habits are the things that help us to grow, right? When we have a good habit about specific things, we are growing as a person, and we are growing in your business too. So this is something that you can print out, try it with any goals that you want, maybe drink water or any goals, exercising, and you can do it every day. Just put it in some place that you can see it, right? On your fridge, on the mirror, on the bedroom, or on your office, something in some place where you can see it every day, so you can start crossing. One more thing, Phil, before I pass to you. You may be thinking that, Diego, this is too much, man. I mean, how can I just meditate every single day for 365 days? I will break the chain at some point, right? Maybe you are thinking that. And that's a valid thought, right? Because it's real. We have things that happen in our life. We sometimes get sick, we are traveling or something like that. So one rule that you can implement is to allow as maximum as 2 days without performing the task. So let's say I'm here on day 52 and I end up traveling. So 53 I didn't do what I promised to do every day. 54 also I didn't complete it, but 55 I need to do it. So I have maximum 2 day break, and that's a rule that you can put. You can put 1 day, 2 days, or any days that you want. But that's the idea. It's very powerful, and I hope you try it.
Yeah, I think that's a great sort of like psychological practice to just help people do a habit, and we know that building habits is good for productivity. So that's awesome. All right. So one of my things I'll get to, but if anyone again has questions, I know we have a very intimate audience, but if you haven't popped in and shouted, said what's up, let us know where you're tuning in from. And if there's anything we could help you, whether it's productivity related or anything else, we're here for you, and we'll be here for the next 15 minutes or so. And we got one more prize coming up, so stay tuned. But the thing that I want to talk about, which kind of is a theme throughout all of the lessons that I put in the course, is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And if you've taken courses of ours or done any sort of reading about productivity, you've probably heard of this rule, the 80-20 rule, where you could apply it to anything, but basically the gist is that 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts, and vice versa, 20% of our results come from 80% of our efforts. So what does that mean? That means that we're spending a lot of time doing things that actually don't result in the goals that we are setting for ourselves. And a real world example of this is, for me, looking at my business and my life. What is it that makes me successful? It's creating, and very specifically, it's creating educational video content. And not only just creating it, but just the recording of it. That's my 20%. If I took all of my time and I just recorded more educational content, and I probably couldn't fill up my entire work week doing that, or my entire life doing that, but that percentage of my work has the most impact. Whereas the 80% that I fill my time with, the social media, the experimenting with other projects, the trying to grow my YouTube channel, all of those other things doesn't actually result in what I'm trying to achieve. And this is something that I've learned over time. So for some of you, you might have to experiment and just over time, you'll sort of learn or develop what is your 20%. But for me, like I said, recording videos is my 20%. So what does that mean? How can I actually use that knowledge to be more productive? Well, then I have to think, okay, there's some of those things that are part of the 80% that I still need to get done. So what can I do? Can I automate it? Can I outsource it? Can I make it a little bit more efficient in terms of how I do it? These are all things that I cover in more depth in the section in the course about automating your business, although you can apply this to all parts of your life as well. But in terms of automation, things that I use are tools like meetedgar.com or later.com. Both of these are tools for social media. Meetedgar.com and another one, and I'll post these in the comments so you get the actual names, recurpost.com, MeetEdgar, and there's lots of them out there. But these two specifically are awesome because it's not just about scheduling content, which is great. I think one major time suck for those of us who are trying to do social media is the sort of in the moment thinking, okay, well, I need to do a post, so let me figure that out. Let me create the graphic for it. Let me post it. That's not going to be sustainable, especially for a modern business. So on one hand, setting out like a block of time to create the content and then schedule it out over weeks or months is great. But also these two tools allow you to create libraries of content that go out at a frequency of time that you set, and it repeats itself. So for example, with my brand Photography and Friends, which is my sort of a sub brand of mine for photography students, I can create a library of content. So say I pick 30 of my top YouTube tutorials for photographers. I can create social media posts for that, each of those pieces of content. And then MeetEdgar will send it out every one piece of content every Tuesday throughout the year. And then after 30 weeks or however big your library is, it will refresh that and it will start over. But what's beautiful about this is that I have different libraries or different buckets of content, and they're going out on my different social media platforms on different days. And it might look like I'm doing it live, but it's all being automated. And I think if we're really going to talk about productivity, we do need to talk about some of these automation techniques and tools that we have available to us in the digital age. So specifically for businesses, I think these two tools are great for helping with social media. Of course,
if you only because
oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Diego. No, go ahead.
And not only because you can schedule that, because the tool is repurposing the content. So as Phil said, you have like a library of content. Let's say photography. Okay, I have this for photography, this for marketing. So the tool is automatically reposting that content as fresh content to your audience on your social medias that you choose. And one thing, Phil, that I always recommend to my students, talking about scheduling and automating the business to save time, is to sit down once a month to schedule all the posts for the next 30 days. So let's say you can do it like on the last day of the month, the 31st, on the 30th of the month. You sit down for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and you schedule the whole content creation for the next month. So what happened next month? You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to think about it. It's all there. It's automatic. It's all in your library also. And you are creating fresh content. You are feeding the library, and also the system will repost that the content that you already have there. So it's fantastic, guys. Yeah. And just having, the pressure of posting every day, or people say, okay, I need to post 3 times a week on Instagram. And you sit down on Monday and you say, okay, man, what do I need to post? And you try to come with ideas. It's always good to set that time, set the day, take half day on the month, and just schedule everything.
Yeah, totally. And I think some people worry, well, aren't people going to get tired of seeing the same content? While using the libraries that I've set up, it's going to take 20, 30 weeks before someone sees that same content again.
Mm-hmm.
And on social media, for most people, and you're probably the same when you follow someone, unless you're that diehard lifetime fan who is going to follow forever, most people kind of like get into someone, they'll follow them for a few weeks, a couple months. And so you are constantly getting new followers. And so that content that you're creating and putting out, it will be new to most people. And if it's an old article, that's fine too. It's another chance that if that person, perhaps they didn't see it. I mean, Facebook algorithms are so random now. Like, who knows if someone's seen the content you're putting out? So sending it out again over time is totally not a faux pas in my opinion. So that's automation. And then in terms of just outsourcing, which is the next step of productivity for businesses, for me, you can start outsourcing once you start to make, unless you have like money to start your business, but once you start earning a little bit of revenue, it might make sense to outsource some of your tasks, especially if you can focus on what is the one thing that you do that makes your business run. So for me, it's the actual recording of videos. Maybe if you do whatever you do, artwork, if you're, I'm always like so focused on like people who create online videos and course content, but if whatever you specifically do and you have to be that person, focus your time on that, and then you can outsource the rest. I used to think that editing my videos was something that I only could do, but I finally got a video editor who helps me edit my content, and that frees up so much time, because if anyone has recorded videos before, made videos, you know that the editing time is actually a lot more than the recording time, and you could spend days trying to make perfect videos. But outsourcing my video editing, outsourcing some of my social media work, outsourcing some admin work, these are little things that I've added over time, and that has, again, allowed me to focus on that 20% where that results in the most revenue or achieving my goals. So yeah, outsourcing. I use Upwork.com for outsourcing. That's great because it's easy to post a job and make payments online. It's super easy. Freelancer.com is another one as well.
So Phil, how people will identify what is the 80 and what is the 20% if they are on their businesses, on their job, let's say?
I think you just have to think about what is the product that people are ultimately buying from you. And that could be an online course, that could be a piece of artwork, that could be live coaching, that could be, you just have to think about what is it that people are actually buying from you and create. And that's what you do. That's like what you actually have to make more of. And all the other things that we feel like we need to do as businesses, whether it's social media or a certain aspect of your product creation, try to figure out where do you come in with your unique advantage? And then anything else that other people could do for you, that's what you can try to automate or outsource. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, Diego, do you have any sort of tips on that?
Yeah, I mean, I will think also on my goal. What is my goal, right? And see, for example, you said that your 20% is when you are recording, right? That you in front of the camera, because that's creating more content for your students, and is serving more people, right? More than just posting on social media. So your goal is probably to serve more people, to reach more students and change their life with your content, with what you are sharing, right? So, I mean, look at your goal and see what is the activity, or what are the activities that are moving you closer to your goal that you are doing. On Phil's case, and my case too, when we are just posting on YouTube, maybe that's also helping us to reach more people and, put the video in front of more people. But we actually in front of the camera recording new courses and also YouTube or any kind of video is the thing that will create more fresh content for the audience. And this will help us to get there. So this is the 20%. And just posting, the fact of, when I say YouTube, guys, it can be confusing. Just the fact of posting on YouTube, that's the thing that is the 80% that we need to outsource maybe or hire somebody to do that for us or automate, as we were talking here, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think I have another example. I'm trying to bring up my Instagram stats, but someone's goal might be to grow on Instagram. And so maybe this isn't like, it's not the same as for me saying, well, I'm going to record more courses, more videos. That's exactly that. I know that's what's going to bring in more revenue, but perhaps for me, another goal would be to grow on Instagram as a content creator, as a photographer. Mm-hmm. And so I know, and I've done this, I've seen this play out, that when and this is obvious, and there's lots of other things that go into it, but when I'm putting out higher quality, more frequent images on Instagram, that leads to faster growth on my channel. And so there was a period earlier this year, last year, where I was really in the photography zone, and I was taking a lot more pictures, and I was posting every day on Instagram, higher quality images, and I could directly see a correlation with more followers. And then since then, and it's been several months since I've been posting regularly, I'll post maybe once every couple of weeks or so, the number of followers has totally plateaued. Mm-hmm. And so this is like a clear thing. If you're looking to grow on Instagram, you got to post more. And so that's the 20% you should be focusing on of your effort. It's creating content, taking more photos, getting it up there. And so I think like in that period of time, my goal for my business was to grow on Instagram. So I was spending a lot more time on Instagram.
Right.
But today, that's not one of my main goals. And so I'm not spending all that time on Instagram like I should. But it's crazy to see that, like, it's like just so clear, like, wow, I'm posting more. Wow, I'm getting a lot more followers than I used to.
Right. And now you have the automation, right? Meet Edgar and the other tools that you share. So you don't need to spend all this time there, right? You can just feed the library and things will happen.
Totally. Okay, I think we have maybe time for one more from you, but one more from you. We're going to give our last prize after that, and then we'll wrap it up.
Excellent. So I'll go really quick with this. This is a great tool that I started using recently, guys. Let me share my screen one more time, Phil.
Yep. Let me...
1 second here. Here we go. Are you seeing the screen?
Yep. Now we are.
So this is called Asana, and it's asana.com is the website. This is a project management tool, and this is a tool that you can use to organize your life, your work, any project. You can organize a trip, anything that you can imagine. You can organize very well here on Asana. And this is an example that I use to create. It's a template that I use for course production. Every time I'm creating a new course, I just duplicate this template, and here are all the steps I need to follow to get my course published, right? And to promote the course. Because when we are talking about course creation, there are a lot of small tasks that we need to perform on your job also. There are a lot of things that you do every day, a lot of specific steps that you need to follow to get to a specific goal, right? So I started writing down a list of all the steps I need to do to publish a course, from idea to promotion of the course, right? I have it on a Google Docs document, but Asana is way better because you can integrate with your team. So let me show you here really quick. I have here the basic, let me see if I can do some cool stuff. The basic information about the course is here. The pre-production area is here. So all the tasks that I need to perform for the pre-production are here. When I complete, first I need to do the market research. I have 3 other sub tasks here that I can expand. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. I check on Udemy Insights tool, check on Google, check on YouTube about the specific subject. And also we have after that the production. So I have the course outline ready. And I just write down all the modules. I have 15 modules. I write down 1 module introduction, module 2, first step, module 3, and all the modules there. When I record module 1, I just move this task to the video editing area, and my video editor, will automatically receive a notification that this task is assigned to him. So he will start going to the Google Drive where all the files are and start editing the modules that are ready. I have another one for promo video, for the copy of the course, for building the course on Udemy. So you see, and also the promotion of the course. So what you see here is that you can use, and this is a free tool. You can have the premium plans if you want to, but you can feel free to use the free tools. I use the free tools, and it's very good. And with this tool, you can basically organize any project and try for your next project. Try maybe for a goal that you have. Maybe you want to, I don't know, any goals that you have. Set the steps. Think about what are the specific steps that I need to take to get to this part of this goal. Remember, creating an online course is a big project, but I divide that big project in small parts. And in this small part are specific tasks that I need to perform. We include that in Asana, and you can assign that to your team too if you have people that work with you. So this is another great tool, Phil.
Yeah, and I love the idea of, at the very least, writing down a list of every aspect of the tasks you do, because then you can look at and really break it down to just like you were showing. Whether it's creating a video, it's like writing the title of the video, it's recording the intro, it's editing or whatever. Go through everything you do. And this could be just if you have a job, any sort of job. It doesn't have to be running your own content-based business. And that's really when you can see, okay, what are the specific things that I need to do myself? And what are the things that can be automated using a digital tool, or what are the things that can be outsourced? And that really is like the first step to doing those things. And so, yeah, that can be with Asana. It could be just writing down a list in a Google Doc. I use Trello, which is another sort of similar app to Asana. I think Asana is probably might have a little bit more capability, but Trello is also awesome. And we talk about all this stuff in so much more detail in the course. And so it's the top of the hour, so we're going to wrap up. I'm going to shout out the last prize. Thank you so much for everyone who has stuck with us. The link to our next prize is our digital products course. So this is an awesome course for anyone that wants to start an online business. It's more about the product creation, the business ideation, compared to the marketing of it, which now you have both courses. You have the digital marketing masterclass, you have the digital products course, which if you're starting out, I would start with the digital products course. And anybody can make a passive income with the skills and knowledge and passions they have nowadays. And I think that class is a great one to get started to learn those kinds of skills.
Yeah, exactly. Also because we did it, right, Phil? We turned what we love into a business in the digital, and we are sharing all that how you also can do on this course. So this is a great one, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone who was here live. Thank you to everyone who purchased the productivity course in the first 24 hours and is watching this live or the replay. And like we said, we are here to get feedback from you for the course. And if you have started to go through the course and Udemy prompts you to leave that review, we would appreciate any reviews that you can give. These are a great way to help us out. So go ahead and do that. And just enjoy the class, and we will talk soon. So good luck, everyone. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.